So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 3D sculpture. So right now I got my pineapple and it is still actually drying, but in this video you will learn how to make this pineapple, or you can use it as kind of like an example how to make any cardboard sculpture. So what you're going to need is some cardboard, a cardboard cutter or scissors, a pencil, hot glue gun, and a ruler. Then if you want to paint it, you're going to need a brush, some paint, and your brush basin to wash out your brushes. So that is what we're going to be doing. So the first thing you're going to want to do for your cardboard sculpture, or 3D cardboard sculpture, is you're going to pick out what you want to make. So I'm going to make a pineapple. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the front of the pineapple. So I'm going to do it kind of small, just because I don't need it to be super big. So I got, and we want to kind of avoid any time there's like bends. It just doesn't look the best. So if you're doing yours a little bit bigger, try and find a piece that has like no bends. And then I'm going to add the top part. Okay, then the next step is I'm going to cut it out with our cardboard cutter. All right, so cutting out the top was pretty challenging. You want to choose something that doesn't have a lot of like little cuts like this. That was pretty hard to cut. If you do choose something like this that has a lot of little areas to cut, you can always cut with the scissors. You'll be able to get the shapes a little bit more better. Otherwise, pick something that's pretty simple, something that's like a rectangular or a square or a circle. If it has a lot of like little details, intricate small parts, it's gonna be hard to cut out. So now that I have one cut out, I am gonna trace and cut out another one. So I'm lining it up on my cardboard and then tracing with my pencil again. Okay, then I am gonna cut this out. So I have two pieces. Alright, so now I should have both of them cut out. They should be similar in size or kind of in shape. So I'm going to just double check, and they're pretty close. Not too bad. Okay, so now we need to create a piece that will be nice and thick to make it 3D so it has some shape to it. So for that, we're going to take the cardboard, and you need a nice piece that's nice and straight. So if it's crooked or someone cut into it, don't use it. So this is nice and straight from the cardboard box, so I'm going to use this. And we're just going to choose however thick we want it. So I'm going to use a ruler. You can find these at the drawing table, so that's the orange table. And with my ruler, I'm going to make this 3 inches. I'm going to zoom in to help show you. You can choose however thick you want. Okay, so I got it lined up on the end at this 3, and then I'm going to make the line right by this 0. You can also, so I'm going to do one measure here, then I'm going to measure in the middle. You can also line it up by the 0 here and then make a line, mark by your 3. So I did a mark in the middle, and then I'm going to do a mark way at the end. So I'm going to switch this around. So I'm lining up my 0 or my 3, and then I'm making a mark. Okay. Now I'm gonna zoom out to show you what I got. Okay, so I have to zoom out even more. And it's hard to see. I have a mark right here, mark in the middle, and then mark at the end. And what I'm gonna do is now draw a nice straight line with them. So I'm gonna connect using my ruler. I'm gonna line it up. I have this mark right here. And I'm gonna line it up on this mark down here. Then I'm gonna draw a straight line. Okay, then I'm gonna connect on the other side of my cardboard. So I got my line down here, and I'm gonna line it up to this. So I'm lining up my ruler, and I'm lining it up down here. Then I'm gonna draw the straight line again. Okay, so now on my cardboard, I have a little 3-inch section. So this should all be, this is 3 inches, way up here is 3 inches because I used my ruler. So now I'm gonna cut all along this line. All right, so I got a little off my line a little bit, but this still work. And now I might need another more, I'm guessing. So I'm gonna cut another 3-inch, but I'm gonna see. Somehow this worked out to be exactly 3 inches on this side. So I'm just gonna cut along here. And that worked out great. Okay, so now I have 2 long sections of cardboard. And this is what we're gonna use to combine the 2 pieces. So I got my 2 pieces, and I'm gonna glue this cardboard around the pineapple like this. And it's gonna make it be 3D. Okay, so one of the things to help make this cardboard like bend is if we kind of help it curve, especially if you have something that's curving. So I'm like folding it because this is gonna help it make the curves around the pineapple. So if you have something that's circular, I would bend it like this before you glue. All right, and then I'm gonna cut off this little piece where it's kind of broken, because we don't need that. Okay, so gluing around the top pieces would be extremely hard to like glue. So I'm gonna skip that and just do it around my pineapple right here. So now we need our hot glue, and I am gonna put glue on here, and then I'm sticking my cardboard all around. I want whatever side has like labels on it, I want that to be in the inside. So that's where I'm gonna glue to. So this has kind of a label. This is pretty clean. So I'm gonna have this be on the inside. Same with this piece. If it has labels or tape, putting it on the inside, because when we paint, we want it to be nice and plain cardboard. So I can double check before I start to glue, like if I glue it like this, it's definitely gonna be plain cardboard, so that's what we want. So I'm gonna start gluing with my hot glue gun. You might have to wait for some of the pieces to dry because the hot glue takes a bit. So I'm adding glue, and I'm gonna start sticking my cardboard. And then you might have to just hold on to it while it's drying, but I'm gonna try and keep going. So I'm gluing around the edge, and then I'm gonna hold my cardboard in place so it dries. So try and keep your fingers away from any of the hot glue because we don't want you to burn yourself. And I'm just gonna go along putting glue on the edges and then sticking the cardboard. And I'm holding it in place so it can dry a little bit. Otherwise, if it's not dry, it'll start to move on you. Alright, so it's a good thing we ended up cutting another strips because I do need a little bit more cardboard to cover. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do that bending thing like I did with that one. So I'm going to help it kind of curve and bend. Then I'm going to line up to make sure, kind of guess what I need here. And I'm going to cut it off. So I lined it up around the curve, and then I'm just going to make a line so where I don't need anymore. And then I'm going to cut with my cutter. Okay, double checked to see if it fits. Which somehow it's a little too big, so I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Alright, that fits better. Okay, so for this I'm going to add glue to this side first. And then stick it and let that dry. And then I'm going to go around on the bottom again. And then once I get to where it's closing, I'm going to add some glue on the side once more. Okay, so as you can see, some of it's still drying, but we have our pineapple front, and then we created a nice side to it. And if we look, most of the cardboard is at the same level. So when we add the other piece, it'll hopefully line up nicely. Okay, so we are gonna end up gluing these together like this, and then we can paint it. So to glue it on, I think you can kind of decide what's easiest. I think it's going to be easier if I just add glue on this rim and then just stick it on. So I'm going to add glue kind of all the way around. And I need another glue stick. Try not to touch the hot glue. You got to work really quickly too, so it doesn't dry. All right, now that I got the hot glue all the way around, I'm going to try and stick it and make sure it's all kind of being covered. And I'm going to hold it down until it dries. All right, so it's probably still drying, but here is what we have, our 3D sculpture. If I wanted to like have a hole in it to put something in it, like these are kind of how piñatas are made, I would not cover it all the way with cardboard. So I'd leave a little gap right here. If you do cover it and then you decide you do want a hole, let me know and I can cut you a little hole. Okay, so the next thing with this is you can paint it if you would like.